I've seen that recently. This is a pretty popular trend on like film analysis YouTube, or like I guess Letterboxd YouTube is more accurate. But obviously, Letterboxd, you log all the movies you're watching. And I've seen a couple of YouTubers who do Letterboxd. I saw Northern Lion and Karsten Runquist. I saw them both doing this. And so, hey, I thought, I've seen like over 200 movies already. We're about halfway through the year. I should do this as well. My halfway point of the year, ranking every movie I've seen so far from worst to best. So I have this sorted from lowest to highest rated, but each rating itself has not been sorted yet. That's what I'm going to be doing in this video. Right, so I only have 3 half stars. And of these half stars, I think Zohan is the best. Zohan is like a Israel-Palestine conflict comedy where Adam Sandler plays an IDF soldier and he fights against Palestinians, but he really wants to do hair. That's his real passion in life. And it's so entertaining that it is kind of good, despite the fact it is really bad. But I'd say it's worth a watch, and I cannot say that about the other 2 half stars here. Which one is worse is definitely... It's a hard question to answer. I feel like Welcome to Marween is so mind-numbing and terrible that it's almost worse than a Serbian film, which at least really knows what it is. But Welcome to Marween thinks it fits in with the rest of the canon of it's the director Robert Zemeckis. It feels like it thinks it fits in with the rest of Robert Zemeckis' canon. It's like just as fun and campy as Back to the Future or whatever, but it's just a truly terrible, mind-numbing movie that I can't think of anything good about. And then a Serbian film I think has been talked to death at this point. Like, I don't think there's anything interesting I can add. It's a very hard watch. I can't say I like anything about it really all that much. It's just kind of miserable. That's how I'd describe it. But it does know that it's miserable. It is very aware of that. Of the 1 stars, I think the most offensively bad thing is Scream 7. This is just like a complete soulless cash grab. I mean, 7 screams. And it's like they fired their actor for being pro-Palestine, so they bring Neve Campbell back, and you're supposed to get all excited about, oh, it's Neve Campbell, she's back as Sidney Prescott, like the original Scream, and we get the original Scream house. It's now an Airbnb, and Stu is back, but he's actually AI generated, and it's like, they do have Matthew Lillard back recording on like his iPhone with some burn makeup on. Just a bad movie. Just really the worst thing I've seen that's new this year, easily. I would say a close second would be Baby Girl. The screen. It's just really not for me, is what I'll say. It's like, I sort of have had a reevaluation of Secretary, which we'll get to. That was one of my least favorite movies, and this is what I feel like Secretary came across as to me the first time I saw it, but it actually is that movie. I hated it. I really can't say much more than that. I would say Live Animals is worse than 8 Crazy Nights. I watch a lot of these schlocky gore fest movies with this girl Delilah I'm friends with. And this one's just really generic. I can't even totally remember what happens in this movie. I think it's the one where this like guy and his girlfriend are having like relationship issues, but that might be another one. They all sort of blend together, and this is one of the most forgettable. 8 Crazy Nights is not forgettable. I can give it that. I was into the Nostalgia Critic review of this as a kid. I saw the Nostalgia Critic review before I ever saw the movie. It was sort of intro to YouTube video critique was the Nostalgia Critic, and his 8 Crazy Nights video, his Scooby-Doo video, I think is the Room video. I would watch those just like crazy as a kid, and that was what got me into criticism. I think I saw his It video a lot when that came out, but that's more embarrassing because it's like 2017. And I was still watching, I watched Nostalgia Critic probably till like 2018, I think. I was in middle school though. I didn't know about fucking Change the Channel or whatever. Our 1.5 star movies, it's not too long of a list either. I can easily say that Fred the Movie is the best of these. I feel like it should be rated higher. Like, there's bits of Fred I actually think are probably better than some of the 2-star movies we're gonna rate, so that might go up. Yeah, Fred the movie's an easy one to turn on, so I can't hate on it that much. It's easily the best here. Second least bad, I'd say, is Wicked. It's a very ugly movie. It's, I think, my main criticism of it. Very overly long movie. I've seen the Broadway show. I saw it with my mother probably when I was in the 6th grade. So I still know the plot, and it's just so overly long. It's so gross and bad looking. I do think the 2 lead performances are good, like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are pretty good in the movie. But mostly it's just really not for me. Dead Girl? This is a movie I've never seen anyone talk about the way that I saw it, but it's not a good movie. But it is very entertaining. Dead Girl's like a movie people take way too seriously, is what I think. I saw in the reviews, people were either calling it like a feminist masterpiece or a terrible sexist movie made by an evil man who likes to see women suffering. I just don't think it's either. It's not a very good movie. It's almost written like a DCOM. It like covers such serious topics, but it does it in a very gay Disney comedy way. That was really my reading of the movie. And I haven't seen anyone else talk about it like that, but I would say I've seen it twice now. And it's not good, but it is entertaining. I think Stranger Things started out at the bottom, and that's where it's going to stay. Just, yeah, it feels AI generated. It's like really lost the heart and soul of the show. There's so much wasted time, like half of it is just sappy, lame conclusions to every character's story where they're sitting and talking about what they did. And the whole season was them sitting and talking about what they were going to do. So to have the finale just be a super short battle into an hour of them just being like, well, this is what we did, and now this is what we're going to do. And it just, people have pointed out all the things that it doesn't even make sense. A lot of the way character stories end. It feels terrible. I don't know what the Duffer Brothers were possibly doing other than using AI that made this season so bad, because it feels like they don't know their own show. Like something horrible must have happened in their lives. I truly believe for Stranger Things 5 to be as bad as it was, because I did not like season 4, and that season had so much more heart and soul and felt so much more like it understood what Stranger Things was than this. This is just a complete shit product. Like, I could honestly see lowering it. Honestly, I might, yeah. I think About There's good. I mean, I think 8 Crazy Nights is really realistically the only thing I can put above it. I think I'm good with where these two are as well. I Love You Man was just really badly written. I heard so many people talking about how well it tackles the male loneliness epidemic. It was big on TikTok, people being like, oh, this movie tackles the male loneliness epidemic, at least on my feed. I don't actually know if it went that viral, but I watched it, and I don't think it really tackles it in any sort of interesting way. And Scary Movie, what is it, 6 or whatever? I don't know. I saw it in the theater on a whim with a friend because I thought it'd be funny. Everyone in the theater was roaring with applause and laughter. They thought it was the funniest thing they'd seen all year. There was K-pop Demon Hunter Weed remix, Long Legs, Epstein Files reference. They say 6, 7. All right, the 2 stars are pretty small as well, so this should be pretty easy. I'd say Limitless is probably the worst movie I saw out of this. This is Clavicular's favorite movie. I don't know. I feel like that says all it needs to about it. He was talking about it on Adam Friedland. I was like, well, I got to see Clavicular's favorite movie, and just bad. It's just kind of boring. The next worst, I would say, is probably War Dogs. This is another one I kept seeing on TikTok clips of it. It's really poorly written, and it feels like it thinks it's like The Wolf of Wall Street or something, but it's one of the worst scripts I've ever seen. The next worst, I would say, is probably Death to Smoochie. This one was just lame. I see a lot of people are really big on this movie these days, like because it's got a cult following. And I like Robin Williams and I like Edward Norton, but it's another one that just felt too straight. Like, it had kind of a funny premise, but it just played it way too straight. It's like, I think that's probably what people like about it, but to me it just felt like another really bad script. Like, I don't know, it felt so ridiculous. It's like Rainbow Randolph wants to kill Smoochie the rhino, and he's got his like dick-shaped cookie. and he's like, pull out a cookie, but it's like, it feels like way too straight. Like, I'm like, what? We're taking this too seriously. I don't know. Death to Smoochy was confusing. That's one I did not maybe get, but is there much to get with Death to Smoochy? I tried watching like videos of people talking about why they like it, and it just none of it made any sense to me. It really was just such a lame movie. Next, I would say probably Devil Wears Prada 2. People were really talking this up, but this is like the most generic thing I could imagine coming out of a Devil Wears Prada sequel. Like, that's the thing I didn't get. It just did feel like exactly what I expected out of Devil Wears Prada 2 2026, and everyone was like, it's actually kind of interesting. And it was like they always had sort of an asterisk on it being good. It was like, well, it's better than it could have been if it's going to exist. Next, I'd probably say Tropic Thunder. Fits right where it is. Of the Ben Stiller comedy stuff, I'd much rather watch Zoolander than just like douchebaggy actor parodies. I get what it's going for, but it's, I don't know, it just feels very surface level. Just not a comedy movie for me. That's one thing I'll say about it, is it's not a movie I think is objectively bad. I understand why so many people hold it in such high regard, but for me it's just lame. I just can't get into it. Next I put Cremaster 1. I watched all the Cremaster movies, and this is the most pretentious, most boring watch. They're all sort of very artsy movies that I can't really recommend to anyone, but this one was just the most boring to sit through. This was the lamest, so if you're going to watch every Cremaster movie and skip one, just skip the first one. Sledgehammer is like, there's a good video on it on YouTube. I watched it because of that. It is a head-hurting watch. It's a watch that will probably give you a headache, so it's not one I can recommend, but the video on YouTube was good. I'm glad I watched the whole thing. It's liminal or whatever. It's what everyone uses, the big buzzword right now. So if you liked Backrooms or whatever and you want a really weird-looking liminal movie, you just put this on in the background. I actually think it's pretty well organized at this point. Flakes is the worst 2.5 I saw. It's like the most hipstery millennial movie I've ever seen. It's about two competing cereal bars. Like not bars, like a cafe. It's like a cafe you go to and you get served cereal. One is run by this real hipster guy who doesn't want to like gentrify, or like he has a very exclusive customer base. And then this competing business comes in and they just steal his model moving across the street, and they are more all welcoming or whatever. It's like a for everyone place instead of a more like niche cafe, except they both sell cereal. And it's like the most hipster movie ever. It seriously is. Zooey Deschanel is the love interest, which is like everything you need to know about the tone is what I like. The tone of the movie is what I've just said. You all can get it from that. Next I'd say is like F1. Truly soulless cinema. People compared it to a video game cutscene. It's all sound design. That's the only thing good about the movie. Yeah, cars go fast. It's like, it's cool to look at fast cars. That's what this movie has to say. Next I'd say is maybe like Anaconda with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. I kind of had hopes for this movie from the trailer, actually. It's Steve Zahn's big character actor I like. He's in it. I like some Jack Black and I like some Paul Rudd. Depends on the script. And I thought it was sort of a clever premise. Me and my dad started watching this movie and he turned it off pretty quick, and I was like, well, I kind of want to finish it, but it was not worth it. It's really just like, there's not really any entertaining bits in here I can remember. It is sort of the worst version of what you think this movie could or will be. That's what I'd say about it. Burning Flowers I'd probably put next. This bad underground Swedish, I want to say, movie. Maybe Dutch. I don't know. One of them, but it was it's like this boy who delivers flowers after school. Like a 16-year-old, he's sleeping with this 40-year-old woman. It's boring, that's what I'd say. It's boring, and it's aged poorly. I don't know what you're expecting of this, though. It's like it's a 40-year-old woman sleeping with a kid, and it doesn't seem like it has anything sort of artsy that's hidden beyond the curtains to me. Next, I probably would put The Babysitter. King Bach is in this. It's like, there's some funny moments in here. I did like the big reveal when it is revealed that the girl and all of her friends are like a sex blood cult. But after that, it never really reaches a similar high, and before that, it's never as funny. It's like I don't know. It's worth a watch if you're into like it's akin to that one Maya Hawke lesbian movie, I'd say. What was that one called? Do Revenge. It's kind of, if you like Do Revenge, if you like that sort of, in quote, like I guess written for Gen Z comedy, then you'll like The Babysitter. I would recommend it. Booksmart, I guess, as well as comparison, except Booksmart is better. Booksmart's better and Do Revenge is worse. That's what I'll say about that. On the sliding scale, so this is like a little better than Do Revenge and a little worse than Booksmart. Next, I'd put probably The Bride. This was such a weird theater experience. They've got like the ghost of Mary Shelley, the possession stuff. It felt like a Cruella or like Birds of Prey, but just like way worse. Like it was going for that style of feminism, and I know the director was like talking bad about Yorgos's Poor Things, and that is such a more like timely, interesting commentary on women's issues than The Bride is. And it's like, I like Maggie Gyllenhaal. We'll talk about Secretary later, which I think is really a movie that has warmed its way into my heart, but The Bride was just a swing and a miss. I'd say Cremaster 4 is probably next. Another one of the more pretentious Cremaster movies. I can't even really describe the plot to you. It was like, this one was like a race car, some race car drivers, and guy in weird makeup doing tap dance, and all of them are like a metaphor for the penis. They're far too pretentious to recommend. Like, these are genuinely. Next, I'd put City Island. It really feels like whenever I watch old Ezra Miller movies, which I've been doing a lot recently, Ezra Miller totally could have been like a Paul Dano if it wasn't for all the assault stuff. And this really reminded me of like a bad Paul Dano movie, but it almost felt like it was ripping from Paul Dano a little bit. Like, it felt very Little Miss Sunshine-y. After that, I would probably do Pineapple Express. No. I think I'd do Beware the Gonzo. We can put both the Ezra Miller movies together. This one was a little more entertaining. Ezra Miller's the main star of this, and it's about high school punk. I talk about this in my second Minecraft episode, I think. Yeah, I think it's this. Yeah, I talk about it in my second Minecraft episode. Next, I would go Pineapple Express. It's like, I don't know, it's a fun stoner comedy. It's like, feels kind of quintessential stoner comedy, but yeah, I don't even know if there's much to say about Pineapple Express. I only watched it while high, but I saw it twice this year, and I can't really remember much of the premise, to be honest with you. They were obviously being hunted by some guys, but I don't even remember why. I think Seth Rogen saw something he wasn't supposed to, and he left Pineapple Express, and he goes and hangs out with his dealer, and his dealer is the only one who has Pineapple Express in the area. And then they're just getting hunted the whole time, and it's very clear that it's just Seth Rogen and James Franco riffing well high, and there are two guys who can do that and do it pretty well, so I'd say it's pretty good as far as stoner comedies go, but it's not like anything all that special. Next, I'd go Hoppers. I liked the political commentary of this. I like the Gavin Newsom type mayor guy who gets taken down by the beavers. I don't know. It's sort of, I can't really get into the cute Disney comedy stuff, like the cute Cal Arts. Is that still a buzzword at all? Cal Arts style bean mouth animal stuff, and like the sort of Gen X Facebook awe memes of this movie. But I do like it politically. I like that it's like has a pretty liked mayor who is sort of mostly left on his politics, it seems like, and that he's doing something that the movie knows is bad. He's destroying this nature reserve, and I had heard that it was sort of him and the main girl who's like an activist have to see eye to eye. And to me, the movie was more she had to learn how to find community, and that her politics were very reactionary, that her want to save the environment was based on a memory of hers with her grandma, and that she was letting that make herself come off as unprofessional and not actually campaign for her politics in the best way. And I thought that was great commentary for kids. Great to set up that there's not always good and evil in such simple ways. It's like the mayor, I like that he wasn't just an evil capitalist Trump commentary, you know? It's like there's so many of those coming out right now, that it was a breath of fresh air to see a movie where it was sort of a Zoran Mamdani or a Gavin Newsom, but the movie was still like critical of them as a politician, even if they were pretty liked by the community, and it was more just this one girl who had problems with them. It was still like, well, but she still kind of has a point. He shouldn't be destroying a nature preserve for a highway is a not noble goal. Next, I would say Weapons. I'm really mixed on Weapons. I actually really need to rewatch Weapons. I didn't even remember I saw it this year, so I must have seen it in like January or something. I do know this whole list is correct, so I don't even know what I want to say about Weapons. I liked the homeless kids plot the best. I thought the sort of alluding to gun violence and school shootings was cheap. Most of the performances were good. I sort of liked and hated that the magic was so underexplained. It was worse than Barbarian, but it wasn't bad. I think I'm probably just in a lot of spaces where people really don't like this movie. Pretty much everyone I've talked about it with has hated it. Half-Blood Prince is the worst Harry Potter movie I saw of my rewatch. I rewatched all the Harry Potter movies. Then I'd go Spree. Spree is like such a guilty pleasure movie. It's infinitely entertaining. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. This was sort of just, I threw it on with a friend over. So yeah, I like Spree. I like Spree a decent bit. There's just some bits of it that maybe... No, now that I think of it, the bit where the Asian celebrity has in his car pulls out like the gun and shoots... She just like randomly shoots the police officer or whatever. That was crazy. And then when he drives his car through the homeless camp and is like... the car flips and whatever, and it's like got camera action scene footage. I was like, that's cheesy and lame and stupid. They're like making it for the big screen really in that way. But everything before the movie gets crazy and then everything after he picks up Jesse Adams from the comedy show is good, I would say. Irreversible is one I feel very mixed on, but I think ultimately is the best of the 2.5, because it's like, it's such a beautiful movie in the way it flows in and out of scenes, and it's all played in reverse. Not like literally reverse, like the footage isn't reversed or whatever. But it's like they play the last scene first, and then it flows into the scene before that, and the scene before that, and the scene before that, and you learn the story backwards. It wouldn't work if it was not reversed, because the story is so cheap and on the nose. It's like you watch these guys go beat up this rapist guy, get killed and stuff, and all this stuff goes on. Then you see the rape of this girl, and then you see her being like, he's like, oh, rape is evil and all this, and it's just so... Like, if the movie was played in regular order, it would just be a story about some girl talking about exactly what's going to happen to her. It's almost, you're like, well, there's no ironicism to it. Like, you can't look back and be like, oh, that's so tragic. She was talking about earlier in the movie how she didn't want this to happen, then it happened. It's like, you see it happen, and then you hear her talk about it, but it's almost like it'd be cheaper if they played it in order. I don't know. The story just is kind of lame. That's what I'll say. It's like it really works on its gimmick and the way it's shot, but the story is so surface level. It's like so uninteresting. And especially Gaspar Noé is like really anti-abortion and anti-gay people almost, it feels like, in this movie. It's like he's anti-abortion in a lot of his movies, and that's just sort of something you got to get past with his work. But the anti-gay stuff in this is so weird. Like, they make such focus on the fact that it's a gay rapist raping this guy's sister, and they go to this gay club, and they're just yelling homophobic slurs at the gay guy. And I hate to be gay complaining guy, like, oh, I'm victimized by Gaspar Noé, but it's like, I don't know. I am offended. I can't lie when there's 2 straight guys who are just yelling the F slur at this gay guy who just does not feel like a real person at all. And it just feels like an excuse to get to yell the F slur at this guy. It's like, well, this gay guy raped a woman, so who cares about him, you know? Fuck that guy. We can be okay to say slurs about him now. So I just did not like the movie for that reason.